Hello and welcome to this video tutorial by Ludic Graphics. Today I'm gonna show you how to do this. It's kind of a skull thingy with some text on it. Okay, so let's get started. First go to File, New, and you can pick whatever size you want, but I wouldn't go over 700 pixels. And then click OK. We're gonna change the background to black. And then zoom in a little. Now we're gonna get working on the skull. Open up a skull photo. You can find them on Google or any other site. Then click Control T. Use the Move tool and drag it up here. Then move it into the current document. Then click Control T and manage the size as you want it. It doesn't matter if it looks weird or anything, it's gonna be better soon. Now we're gonna use the Magic Wand tool. Have the settings like this. Okay, now select the entire skull. Click Ctrl-Shift-I and then use the eraser tool to erase the background. Maybe it doesn't seem like it's erased, but it is, since the background layer is black. Then click Ctrl-D to get rid of the selection. Okay, now we're gonna go to Image, Adjustments, Desaturate. And then we're gonna go to Ctrl-M, which is Curves. We want the skull to be like this. Yeah. Click OK. And now we're gonna duplicate this layer by left clicking on it and then duplicate layer. OK. On this layer we're gonna filter, then blur, radial blur. Put the amount on 100, the blur method on zoom, and the quality on best. Then click OK. Now to get the blur even bigger, click Ctrl F 2 times. Now select the copy layer, click the burn tool, put the exposure at 100, protect tones and midtones. And then burn the eyes and the nose and the teeth. Now we're gonna grab the eraser tool and get rid of the white skull. Don't have to be perfect, but it will look better if you remove the white, the most of the white. Okay, there we go. And burn it a little more. Okay, now we're gonna go to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur, have the distance at around 15 to 20 pixels. Okay. Then move it the way you want it. Okay. And that's the skull. You may want to blur it out a little. No, wait. There we go. Okay, and that's the skull. Now we're gonna select the text tool. And you can use almost every font you want. But I would avoid all these kind of blurred out fonts. So I'm gonna use the Charlemagne's STD. Okay. The font size doesn't really matter, but it's gonna be on black. So type in whatever you want. Yeah, black. You can make it a little bigger if you want it. And then click OK. Or enter or move tool or whatever you want. Now we're gonna add some blending options. I already have the style, but I assume you don't. First we go to Bevel and Emboss at Inner Bevel, and then Technique at Chisel Hard, and the depth at 286%, the direction at up, the size at 23, and soften at 0 pixels. The angle at 79 degrees, then don't use global light, and the altitude at 37 degrees. The glass contour is default with anti-aliased on. Highlight mode is green with white, and the opacity is 86%. The shadow mode is multiply, and the color is black, and the opacity is 92%. Satin, then. Blend mode vivid light, color black, opacity 77%, angle at 45 degrees, distance at 8 pixels, size at 20 pixels, and the contour you can find here, almost in the middle. Click on invert and anti-aliased. Then go to gradient overlay, blend mode normal, opacity 74%. The gradient is black in this corner and white over here. Okay. The style is linear, aligned with layer, angle at 90 degrees, and the scale at 150%. Okay. So now it's almost done. We're just gonna add some effects to the text layer. Right click on it, duplicate layer, and then put the copy layer under the original. Then make a new layer, hold shift and click on the copy. Then click Ctrl E to bind them together. And now we're gonna go to filter, blur, motion blur, around 18-20 pixels, the angle at 90 degrees. Okay. Now we're gonna duplicate that layer, and then hold shift and Ctrl E, binding them together. Then go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, around 2.7 pixels. Okay. And then copy the layer. Okay. And then bind them together. Okay, and that's the end of this tutorial. Brought to you by Ludic Graphics.